Lindsey Hughes, and I'm the Assistant Athletic Director for Columbia College, and I have Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia syndrome. I was about 25, and I'm 32 now. So I think in 2008, I woke up on the floor in my apartment and didn't remember anything except the last thing I remember was walking to get a shirt to change into. That's the last thing I remember, and I woke up on the floor, and I had no idea what happened. I'd never had a passing out episode before. I never had anything happen like that. So I then proceeded to go to the cardiologist, and my mom, my birth mom, passed away when I was 2.5 of something very similar to this. They checked everything, and everything looked fine. My heart looked fine, my blood pressure. They said, "We don't know what's wrong with you. We don't know why you passed out. We have no clue." They put a Holter monitor on me, which is where they record your heart rate, and it was a 6-month monitor where it was implanted and it watched every single thing that happened. They didn't see anything except fast heart rate. They didn't see anything wrong with my heart. So they were kind of befuddled, I guess, as to what to do. After this doctor told me that he thought I was making it up, I proceeded to find another doctor. Cardiologist is who we thought we needed to see. We went to 5 different doctors, hospitals, to try and figure out what was going on. We had no clue. We didn't have any idea. So finally we went to the Cleveland Clinic 3.5 years later. Got an appointment at the Cleveland Clinic, and they did some testing that I had not had done before, and they came back that day. It's in Cleveland, Ohio. We had flights to catch, and they are used to people coming in and out of town, and came back and said, "You have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome." And we were like, we don't even know what that is. So they proceeded to explain it to us, tell us that there was no cure for it, here's how to manage it. And then I've been managed by a cardiologist here in town. They've kind of talked back and forth since then. So, and the bottom line, like I told the team yesterday, is our blood pressure drops and our heart rate increases, and then our body has to pass out to kind of restart itself. Most of the time, and it depends on the patient, because every person who has a syndrome is different. So when we're spreading awareness, you could hear multiple things from people who have this syndrome. There are people that pass out 6 or 7 times a day. They just get out of bed and they pass out. I luckily do not have that problem right now. It can get to that point, or mine can get better. I'm never not gonna not have it. So that's something that we want people to know, that there's no cure for it. It is an invisible illness. So even though I look fine, or the person that parks in a handicap spot and you see them walking into a grocery store, just because they're doing that doesn't mean that there's nothing wrong with them. Their insides are probably killing them, and they're putting on a brave face. It affects your whole autonomic nervous system. That's what it affects. So anything that's related to that, your fight or flight syndrome, it goes to the extreme on both. So if someone honks a horn at me to scare me or something, I can pass out because my body doesn't know how to react to it. It's mostly, I think 90, I could be wrong on the stats, but I think it's 90% female. So there's very few males that are diagnosed with this. It is very rarely diagnosed to begin with because of just doctors not knowing about it. If you find someone that's passed out that has this syndrome, the best thing to do is to wake them up and make sure that they haven't broken anything or hit anything or they're bleeding. They will wake up. Try and stay calm, because the more scared that person shows, if they find someone on the floor that has this, the more scared it'll make the person that wakes up. They want to be positive about it, and you can't let it the more stressed you are about it, the worse your condition gets. The Dysautonomia International is who the big research foundation is. That's the name of their foundation. On a daily basis, I am extremely tired every single day. I can't sleep at night, which seems conflicting because I'm tired all the time, but I can't sleep at night. I get nauseous every single day at some point throughout the day. I have digestive issues. There's not a day that goes by that I do not have a very bad headache because of the blood flow problems. I get dizzy every time I stand up, a little bit, whether it's a little bit or a lot, it just depends. I have lightheadedness. I have brain fog every day where I can't remember something, and I wish it were my age that I could blame that on, but it's not. I get confused really easily. I think those are the main ones I have every day at least. The headaches are the worst that I have to deal with. And I have aches and pains that I have to deal with on a daily basis, but those are kind of minuscule compared to my headaches. I'm lucky enough to where I only pass out when I'm standing, which I can be sitting and my heart rate can jump up to like 120, 140 beats per minute, and I'm not doing anything. And then worrying every day if I'm going to pass out or not, because it's not something I can forecast. I could wake up and be fine today, and then tomorrow wake up and pass out, while I'm getting ready for work or something, or walking around. Because the tennis team has done something before to raise awareness. The t-shirts that we made were the things that we did to raise awareness. I finally come out of a stage where I am out of that denial stage and kind of I'm okay with what I have. So I'm finally now, probably this month, to a point where I'm ready to get the word out. I was ready in December. I was told that I had an eating disorder by my cardiologist, which is something that can be misconstrued. A lot of people that have POTS are thin, and they have a hard time gaining weight or losing weight. It can be one or the other, which is very discouraging when you're already trying to figure out how to help yourself with losing weight and passing out, and everything is intertwined. So me losing weight means I'm going to pass out more often. So I had to go through kind of another denial period, if that makes sense. Not grieving, but just trying to be okay with the fact that I'm passing out more often, and people that are around me all the time have to deal with it. It's not me that finds me on the ground, it's someone else usually. So the t-shirts were the first thing, and the wristbands are something I made probably 3 years ago when I thought I was ready to start spreading awareness, but I wasn't quite ready. But I am finally to a point where I'm ready to talk to ER doctors, talk to any doctor within the South, because this is something in the South that a lot of doctors aren't aware of. I would like to make pamphlets. They have pamphlets made already from the Dysautonomia Foundation. So those can be handed out, but it's not guaranteed that a doctor is going to take it. And I have a card that I take to the ER when I go, but they still have to sit there and Google what it is. They don't understand what it is. So I would just like to spread the awareness to at least doctors and hospitals for people who come in, so the patients aren't thinking that they're crazy, and the doctors aren't looking at them saying, we think you're crazy. But I'm in the very beginning phases of learning what I need to do to spread the word. So right now my diet is I have to drink 3 liters of fluid before I even get to work. So I can't get out of my bed without drinking 1 liter of electrolytes. So I have to put it by my bedside table. and drink that before I get out of bed. Then I have to drink 2 more liters before I get to work. I take a sodium tablet every day. My body cannot have enough sodium in it. I have to eat every few hours. That's for more my weight than anything else, but I have to take in a lot of sodium. I have a beta blocker that I'm on to try and help my heart rate, try and maintain it at a normal level. I also have a pacemaker. The pacemaker does not cure POTS. It doesn't do anything except be a security blanket kind of for myself. So if my heart rate gets to an outrageous level, so my pacemaker is there to kind of regulate that level, but it has nothing to do with my blood pressure. So even though my heart rate is being stabilized, my blood pressure can still bottom out, and that's why I still pass out. And that's how it is for most people that have this condition. I know my parents stay scared all the time. They're going to get a phone call that I've hit my head for the last time, which they want me to wear a helmet and like baby-proof my office. They would love for me to wear a helmet, and I wear a helmet at home when I'm by myself as protection. Every patient takes it differently, and everyone deals with it differently once they're diagnosed. There are a lot of support groups, so if like you know someone that has it, there are support groups on Facebook. They're closed groups. Everything is very private just for that group of people that are in that private group, so nothing is put out there publicly. And I try and joke about it. That's my way of coping. You know, our saying that I came up with, or with Grayson's help too, stand up for POTS, is funny to me because we have a problem standing up and staying upright. A lot of doctors will, like I've been to the ER and they will ask my mother's history, and I'll put on there that she had this, and they'll think I put pot on there. And they wonder how she died from a pot overdose. But I try and joke around with it. I don't get offended by people. Like I have taught our softball coach, Tatiana, who has made a promise to me that anytime she sees me passed out, she will fall down on the ground with me so it's not embarrassing. So, I mean, there's just little things, and I don't get very easily embarrassed by it because it's something that you have to have comedy about because it's a very serious syndrome. But then you think there are a lot worse things that you could have. Support is a huge key to this syndrome, is having the support of everyone around you. And I've been blessed enough in this in our own athletic department and on campus with those that know what I have. Our president knows what I have, and she's been super supportive. Ken, our VP of Enrollment Management, he knows what I have and is super supportive. So anytime I'm not feeling well, they completely understand. Our athletic director, she checks on me daily. And every coach in this department has gone above and beyond to do whatever they can to help me out. And now it's my turn to give back. And my way of giving back is awareness. Go koalas! If you pass out, just get someone to wake you back up.